The exact features of a hurricane that brings damage to these houses is the strong winds and water. As it is stated by the Natural History Museum, hurricanes are formed when hot air and moist air meet underneath the surface of the ocean. As it rises, the air cools down and creates water vapor, which then turns into water droplets. This process leads to heat, which causes more air to rise. As more air rises, causing strong winds, rains, and storm surge. Hurricanes usually occur in the North Atlantic Ocean, so it usually gets hit by many hurricanes. The area that is most affected is the southern part of Haiti, specifically Sud and Sudest Department. According to the United Nations, the most recent hurricane that hit Haiti is Hurricane Sandy on 25th October 2012. It killed more than 7,500 people. Heavy rains and winds from the hurricane has flooded the area, damaging buildings and roads and including homes of many people, schools, and hospitals. It was reported that more than 27,000 homes were damaged or destroyed. As Jeffrey Master stated, during 2008, 4 hurricanes have swept through Haiti, leaving damages to the citizens. 793 people were killed, 310 missing, and 593 injured. About 70% of Haiti's crops were destroyed after the disasters, leading to deaths of many children due to malnutrition after the storms. They obliterated 22,702 homes. About 800,000 people were affected. Before that, Haiti has been impacted by many other hurricanes. Hurricane Jeanne in 2004 killed over 3,000 people. Hurricane Flora in 1963 killed over 8,000. A hurricane brings with it associated powerful forces like wind. Hurricanes cause a range of associated weather impacts, from storm surge, tornadoes, and floods from heavy rains. Heavy rainfalls from a hurricane is common and would impact the area that it is striking. A storm surge is a quick rise of the sea level water during a hurricane and would affect homes that are located near the shores. A small hurricane with wind range from 74 miles per hour to 155 miles per hour would blow off any weak house immediately, stated the Weather Channel. According to Reed Rollo, when a building stands in the wind, the walls tend to block the air, and the air pressure increases. The pressure of a Category 5 hurricane can be over 300 kilograms per square meter. The strong force of the wind can damage walls and doors or even push a building completely over. If the house is weak, like the ones in southern area of Haiti, they would be blown away immediately. Rainfall can also damage structures by damaging poor quality wall. Strong water pressure can force walls and doors to collapse. The University of Rhode Island explains, when a hurricane causes landfall, the sheer force from strong winds can destroy buildings. Flying debris like signs, items that are outside, that was caused by winds that can damage buildings and houses as they fly, can also kill or injure people. Hurricanes can impact buildings and houses by putting differential pressures on buildings, roofs, and walls. Differential pressure is the difference in pressure between 2 points of a system. It is caused by wind, which flows on the opposite sides of any buildings, like roofs, walls, could deform after the differential pressures. Without the roof, the walls of a building could be easily blown away. As a hurricane winds blow against a vertical surface, it exerts a positive force on against the surface as it blows over or around the house, creating a negative force on the walls or roof planes. These forces combined can cause an uplift where it can destroy a home's roof by blowing it off. Overturning, the building might rotate from its foundation, resulting in devastation in homes.
The strong winds and waters that come along with hurricanes bring a lot of damage to the areas prone to hurricanes, as seen even in the United States, a high-income country. The United States have been attempting to do very much to support the states which have houses that have been previously damaged by hurricanes. According to Samantha Ray Tuthill, the 2 states that have the strongest hurricane code out of all the states is Florida and Virginia. The houses in these 2 states have been built to reduce the damage of hurricanes. The features we want to incorporate into the houses of southern Haiti are the roofs, doors, and windows. So to improve it, the doors and windows will need to be replaced with a stronger material that can be resistant to debris. Two concrete locks could be built in the interior above and below the doors and windows to block the water from the hurricanes. The two blocks could also resist the wind from knocking the doors and windows over. There are also storm shutters available to place in the exterior of windows to avoid shattering of glass windows. In the situation of a hurricane, the walls are very prone to being destroyed by the winds and the waters. So, in order to strengthen it, we have decided to add cross bracing made of steel to strengthen the walls. There are storm shutters available to place in the exterior of windows to avoid shattering of glass windows. Most houses in Haiti have unstable tin roofs, which are definitely not hurricane proof. So changing the material is crucial, as well as attaching anchors to the roof and to the ground to hold it in place, also benefiting the whole house by keeping it to the ground. The house should be held in place once the foundation is also established. Our plan is to attach steel to the corners of the bottom of the house and add a cross bracing in the middle to add more stability. Doing so would help with the shearing and bending forces that a hurricane will cause. Once the bottom of the house begins to move with the shearing force, then the top would move another way, causing the house to either break off the foundation or bend if it is a taller house. However, the anchors will not work and the foundation will not be strong if the soil is not stable. The soil is softened once water is applied, weakening it. Hurricanes are not just made of wind, but will also bring floods of water. Once the soil begins to move, the house will too. The Industrial Resources Council has suggested many solutions in an article about soil stabilization. However, the material that seems most reliable is coal fly ash, or CFA. Using CFA would reduce the moisture and plastic of the soil, which will increase the strength and stability. Tests involving CFA to stabilize soil has been run by Emmanuel Okanade and has only shown positive results. These tests have shown that using CFA would be less time consuming than lime and cement, another material used to stabilize soil. Not only this, but the coal fly ash would also benefit economically and environmentally. Out of the two stabilization materials of CFA and lime and cement, CFA is much better. It is proven that not only does CFA would work better in a shorter amount of time, it also benefits the environment. Global warming and climate change has been a continuously increasing problem as greenhouse emissions are being released into the atmosphere. But studies from both Emmanuel Okonade and the Industrial Resources Council have proven that using CFA would reduce the disposal of waste from coal combustion if it is collected in purpose of stabilizing soil, also meaning that there would be less green gas emissions being released once the material stops being burnt. Economically, buying the coal fly ash would not be a problem as it is much cheaper than lime and cement as well as other soil strengthening materials.
We have also taken into account of the problems with this solution. When applying the bracing system, it may harm the current housing as it is not strong enough to support it. It may have occurred that the biggest problem to this is the money, as 1 ton of steel contains roughly 7.6 meters squared. Houses in Haiti are approximately 50 meters squared big, so we will need around 6.8 tons of steel. The cost of 1 ton of steel is roughly about $713. Then the total cost would be $3,974.54. As for the rest of the other materials, like the anchors of the roof and other materials for adjustments, the total cost would be roughly about $4,500.
The cost may seem like a lot, but paying this once would be more effective than paying continuously after repairing each house after a hurricane. With the current houses in southern Haiti, a regular hurricane would cause serious damage to the housing if not destroy it completely. The repairing cost would be at least $500. A completely destroyed house would cost even more to rebuild. Now suppose that there are 2 hurricanes in 1 year. In 5 years, each household would pay $5,000, which would be more than more than 750, the amount the residents would spend if they were to pay this year.